really excelling. I'm watching that ranking on Junior Golf Scoreboard, and it's just creeping up higher and higher and higher. Looks like Haven, you played about 15 2 to 3 day events this year. But we'll get into that in a little bit. But I can't thank them enough because I know they've been traveling a lot, Pebble Beach, all across the country, and I know they're a little tired. Hopefully I pray that they catch up on rest, let alone the schoolwork, right? So the schoolwork is what she's catching up on now. But I want to bring in my special guest for the evening. Y'all help me welcome Haven Ward. Hey, Haven.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
All right, good. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Well, listen, thanks for being on. Well, I'm sure this won't be your last podcast, your last interview. You've been doing some amazing things out there. I got a chance to see you on the Golf Channel, and they were interviewing you. And I know that'll be one of those bloopers that y'all will always look back and laugh on. But tell us a little bit about your journey, Haven, in the game of golf. How'd you get started? Tell us about your start.
I used to go to Drew Charter School in Atlanta, and my mom signed me up for the first tee of Eastlake. So along with being in the first tee every Saturday, I also went to the golf course pretty much every day during school for our enrichment classes. And then from there, I just found some, smaller tours to get on, such as Atlanta Junior Golf, when that was an actual thing, or U.S. Kids Golf. And from there, I just kind of went up to different tours, such as Hurricane, and I'm in AJGA now. So I play AJGA along with other tournaments. So
nice. Well, listen, again, you've gotten really, really good. When did you notice that you had a knack for golf? When did you, I don't know if you remember what age, but when did you feel like you could really be good at the game of golf?
So like I said, we did enrichment classes that were golf, and when I'm a very competitive person, so like when I was beating everybody out there, like that really just brought the competitive nature in me, and I'm like, oh, I can go far in this sport. And my mom already had a plan in her mind because she'd already researched like most unused scholarships, and women's golf was number 2 for college. So I mean, she already had a plan, and I just fell in love with the game, so kind of just connected.
And it was actually competing with swim. She was a competitive swimmer all the way to 6th grade, and so making that decision to focus on golf was a tough one. I mean, cried. We had to let that one go.
Yeah. So you had to let swimming go. You miss swimming?
I miss the adrenaline that came from it, because golf is a low impact sport. So I mean, I guess that's the only difference between them. But I'm sticking with my decision.
Well, good. How many titles have you won? Do you keep up with that stat?
Not really. I just keep up with as many tournaments and different tours I play on. So just going to Pebble Beach, that was an accomplishment in itself.
Yes.
So,
all right.
Yeah, I'm working up to that goal though.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that in a little bit. So what do you do, Haven, to make to help your game get better? What are some of what are your practice routines? What do you do to improve in the game of golf?
So I'd say during the school year, it's a little bit harder to get out onto the golf course. But when I do, I try to just go out there and work on what I see is deficient usually. Lately, I've been having a lot of trouble with my full swing. Or in Mariah Stackhouse at Stanford, I was having trouble with my full swing. So I went to my swing coach one week, and he gave me what I needed to work on. I just took that, and I've been working on it ever since. I also feel that I need to work on putting every single day, because putting, I'd say, is the most important part of the game. I mean, everything is, but putting is what gets the birdies, what saves par up and downs.
Exactly. You are so right. The short game, and I know you probably heard this before, short game, right?
Well, one of the things that that she's been doing for a couple of years is Pell's test.
Yes.
And I'd like for her to do that more often. So whatever is the smallest number, that's what you work on. So hopefully we can get back to that.
so Haven, what would you recommend to juniors that are trying to get better? I mean, in other words, when you look back, knowing what you know now, what would you do different if you were just starting out in the game of golf right
now? I think the 4 most important things are mental game, preparation, course management, and short game. And I know when I was starting golf, I didn't really focus too much on short game. Like when I went out to the first tee, it was like, who could drive the ball the furthest, like who could hit that 8-iron further, who could get on the green. But then when it would come to, like, if I missed a green, I didn't know how to get up and down.
Right.
And putting was never really a huge concern for me until like the past couple of years. I'd say course management for sure, because like in my head, my thing is like, at the very least, if worst comes, just get bogey. But I'm going to try to avoid that as much as I can. So I just focus on course management, what I need to do to get the best score that I can. Mental game, my mental game has to always be strong. I feel like as a golfer, it gets very hard. The game will get on your nerves, make you very angry. And just digging down deep and just keeping your calm, that's what pretty much gets me through the rounds, especially when I'm having a hard time.
Right.
Tell me about the nutrition part for the 18 holes, how you break it down.
The first 6 holes is fruits and that kind of stuff, just to, like, I guess such as an appetizer, I'd say. Right. And then like the second 6 holes is protein. So I drink protein shakes because I don't eat nuts because I'm allergic to them.
Okay.
And I don't eat any kind of meat. So protein shakes are what I drink. And then the last 6 holes are like sugar, Gatorades and Powerades.
Good. So as you talk about the mental game and the nutrition and things like that, what do you do to work on the mental part of the game? Do you do anything away from golf to work on the mental part of the game?
I don't really do too much a part of golf in school, but I guess just giving myself like a mental break, because after I have a tournament, I need to take a couple days off for like mentally, because I know I had some bad holes. I know I had some bad shots. So just taking that mental break just for those 2 days after the tournament is good for me to get pumped, get ready to get back out there. So I'm ready for the next day.
Right. Now, when you're having a bad day on the course, what do you try to think about to kind of get yourself back on track? I mean, what goes through your mind when you're hitting a bad shot or two? Because as golfers, we all hit bad shots. We all hit shots that we, really just hate. So what do you think about when you're having a bad day on the course?
For one, I pray.
Yeah.
When I when I'm having a hard time, like I just speak to God, like trying to just, figure out what I need to do mentally. And then one time my mom told me a story about, or not a story, it was a real thing, but this girl who like shot a 9 on a hole one time and she came back to win the tournament. I have no idea what she shot, but like just that story right there, it always like makes me think like, oh, if I have a bad hole, like I can get birdies to cover it up and I can do what I need to do.
Right. But we won't worry about you getting any 9s anytime soon, right?
Yeah.
All right. So now who's your favorite PGA or LPGA player?
I'd say watching Mariah Stackhouse grow through the game, that like I'd say she's definitely one of my favorite LPGA players. And and her family is just amazing. And then I really love Nelly Korda, like her game, her mental game, watching her on tour as well. And of course, my favorite PGA player is Cameron Champ. He can hit the ball a mile. You know, I love his family too. And honestly, I feel like they really give back to the junior community and the Black community as well. So I just really respect them as players and as people. Shout out to Jeff.
Yay, Jeff Champ. Are you ready for the MAC champ this upcoming year?
Yes, I plan to win it this time.
You plan to win it. That's a great goal. That's a great goal. And so what are some of your favorite courses across the country? I know you played a lot, but do you have like your top 2 or 3 courses that you tend to favor the most?
I'd say as a Georgia player, Chateau Alon, that's pretty much where home is. That's
Georgia.
If you're a player in Georgia, then you've played at Chateau Alon before. If not in a tournament, just leisurely. So that's definitely one of them. PGA National, the Squire course, because I mean that's the only course I played on PGA National. But I had some experiences on there that I will never forget, such as hitting a ball in a tree and it just never came out. So like I've had some crazy times there, but like I really like the course. Also taught me about like green speed, so I learned a lot there. And then Pebble Beach is definitely my favorite course I've ever played.
That's number 1.
Yes.
All right, we'll talk about
still playing it on the video game.
Oh, she is. All right, well, listen, we're gonna talk about Pebble Beach in just a few minutes, but Shelly, I want you to dive in here a little bit. We've got some junior parents on, and talk about your journey a little bit. Just kind of give parents some insight on maybe the things to look out for, maybe some how to one of the things that John used to get on me about is making faces when he hits a bad shot. So just talk a little bit about how you deal with as parents, how you deal with the good and the bad, just anything that you want to share with the junior parents.
Sure. Well, one, I am a single parent that does not play golf. So Haven and I learned the sport together. Literally like discovered things like, oh, you need to get on the green too. So she's trying to hit the ball and there are people on the green and I'm like, no, don't get on that. So again, we've learned it from the beginning and learning how to pivot. So when Haven was with a coach and she wasn't progressing anymore, knowing when to make that move to explore different coaching. And the coaches don't take it, well, some do take it personal, but some don't. But at the end of the day, it's your child's career at stake. But I had to sacrifice quite a bit. We moved into this house in 2017. I still have not furnished it yet. However, we've been to Pebble Beach and
been to some
we're
great places.
We're all over the country, right? Because Haven ultimately wants to go pro. But we've had to I feel like we're always like a year and a half behind the really elite players who are ranked, in the top 100. And I know she'll get there. I also advise talking to other parents, especially outside of your race, because there aren't that many at this level.
Yes.
And so as a mom, I'm usually the only woman amongst a bunch of dads, but I learned so much. I learned what tournaments to get into, understanding the scoreboard and understanding strength. And so now, I remember calling Jeff Champ. I'm not afraid to call anybody. Yeah. I called him and I asked him, could he just mentor me because we're stuck, and we were stuck for a while. So, just not afraid to ask for advice. And at this game, I know she loves the game, but you got to crack the whip too. I mean, it just is what it is. There's so much sacrifice going into this.
Yes.
And also as far as academics goes, I don't want a school not to be able to take her because she doesn't have the grades. So like whatever we have to do as far as tutoring goes, and I actually pulled her out of the charter school and put her in a private school because I didn't want anyone to be upset with us being gone for so long. I mean, Haven missed over 2 weeks in September already. She did a TV show a couple of years ago in 2019. She missed the first month of school. And so we were, just having that type of flexibility I thought we needed to have. But definitely, I think my biggest advice would be to do not be afraid to pivot.
Right. Yeah. Pivot. And I think reaching out is important. That was the main reason that I started the podcast a year and a half ago, because I didn't really know what to do. And I've learned so much from people like Maurice and Sean and, just all the junior dads, Mark Burnett, Gus Fattel. I've learned a lot from a lot of the junior parents. So, like you said, reach out. I have a lot of people that reach out to me. And so, just to be able to give back, it's just really great. So, so let's talk about Pebble Beach. Great experience. Talk to us, Haven, about your Pebble Beach experience.
Pebble Beach was an amazing experience. I did miss a full week of school, but I do not regret my decision. It was awesome. My pro was Stuart Appleby, and he was awesome. He's a great player. Honestly, one of my favorites now.
He can play, right?
Yeah.
He can play the first day. He kind of botched it up the second day.
It was just the rest kicking off. He hadn't played in competitively in 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we still keep in touch.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. All right. Keep his name on. Keep him on speed dial for sure.
For sure.
Yeah. And his caddy David, he's one of my favorite people now. I absolutely love him. He helped me the entire way through because we couldn't use rangefinders. So learning how to find the distance just solely from the yardage book and the sprinkler heads on the ground, learning how to take steps and count how much distance there was.
Yeah, that
was something different, weird for sure.
Right. You remember those books Jeff gave us last year?
Yes.
It probably all makes sense now.
It makes a lot more sense now.
Right. So you played well. I know you probably left a few strokes out there, but you played well, and so tell us about the course. What kind of conditions was the course in?
The course was in great condition, but it was very cold.
Oh, it was cold. Okay.
Very cold, and it's on the coast. So on hole 9, you can see people walking along the beach, and it's an amazing view. It's absolutely beautiful, but it's freezing cold. And there's a lot of amazing sights there.
Yeah.
And you can hear the seals doing whatever they're doing in their own corner. Honestly, it didn't even feel like a golf course, but it was an amazing experience.
Wow. Was it windy?
Very.
Very windy? Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Especially towards the evening hours.
Yeah, that's when I get the coldest.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. So last couple questions. What's your goal for this upcoming 2022 year? Because this is your junior year, right?
Yes.
All right. What's your goal this year?
I have one tournament that I'm actually going to be doing. Hopefully, maybe I could get into Rolex, but that's just hopefully for now. But the one tournament I am doing, my goal is to shoot 3 red scores going to par all 3 days.
Yes.
Definitely a lofty goal, but I'm going to try to make my practices really count, not take any shot for granted. And for next year, my goals are to just move into the top 100. I need to do that. So when Rolex does come, I'll be a top pick for that.
Great.
Because like that's pretty much a lot of people's goals. And I want to win the AGGA. I want to get the red bag for sure.
Good.
And committed.
Oh, what'd you say?
We need a verbal commitment.
Oh, yeah.
This is so stressful.
Oh, yeah. I know. And Shelly, this is John's ninth grade year. So we got to get ready. So, I mean, I know it's going to be stressful. It's going to be a lot of golf. It's going to be a lot of expenses. So, we got to be ready. Yeah.
I mean, she's had a couple of offers, just trying to see.
Okay. Well, let us know when she gets ready to make that announcement. Do you know approximately when she might make the announcement?
We're holding out.
Okay.
We're holding out probably until the latest, I would say, a year from now.
Okay. So we got a year, so we don't have to worry about y'all making any decisions in 3 months, 6 months, or anything like that, right?
Not unless this particular school says, hey, we're offering.
we want you. Come on.
We're talking.
Okay.
But it's like we want this, and so she's got to produce that to get. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that's fair. All right. So let's do this. Let's open up the lines and let's see if anyone has any questions for Haven or you, Shelly, as a parent, as a junior. We got a few parents on. We got a couple of juniors on. Are there any questions for Haven or Shelly tonight?